got a fire in my soul, yeah, it's burning bright. Guy band, he told me just to follow the light. Well, I heard the people singing with all their might. So I hit the ground running, and I ran all night. And we sang, run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Well, I ran into my family, and I ran into my friends, and I ran into people that I didn't know then. And I said to them, hey, I could use a hand. And then I ran and I ran, and I ran and I ran. And we sang, run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. They say it's dangerous out there, but not if we're all here. If we're together, we can run without fear. They say it's dangerous out there, but not if we're all here. If we're together, we can run without fear. Well, the children and the elders and the strangers and the neighbors and the doctors and the teachers and the farmers and the bakers and the scientists and builders and the singers and the players and the buskers and the dancers and the dreamers and the painters and the coaches and the helpers and the artists and creators and the yogis and the healers and the preachers and the changers and the people and the planet and the forests and the rivers and the mountains and the oceans and the future and the vision. And the buskers and the patience and the future and the vision. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run.
Mysteries. No mysteries. No mysteries.
Oh man, here we go again. We're going to create change. Make it happen this time. Let's go, always good vibes.
Oh, yeah.
Get out
go.
of your bed. I can feel it, it's
Okay.
going to be
Yep.
a
I'll have to let my wife
Let's
know.
go, always good vibes. Create change.
Good boy,
Let's go, let's go,
Sometimes you don't get
always
the
good
memo.
vibes. Let's go, always good vibes.
Yeah, man. Shout out to you this morning, brother Sean.
Oh, good to see you, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
man. Welcome everybody to Guy and Shine. Appreciate y'all being here. Morning show comprised of good vibes, music, live streaming our thoughts and opinions on trending topics, as well as just things that we're thinking about and what the goings on is in Canada and the United States. My name is Guy.
I'm Shy from Canada.
Yep, you can find either one of us at our own personal page. You got at Shine Dig, and you can find myself at Creating Change. Where we have been on a little journey with ourselves as far as making a show, and now we've brought it over to a shared channel. So if you are here, you are one of the first.
Mm.
We appreciate y'all being here. Shout out to you, man. Getting it rocking and rolling. But hey, that crap that we was talking about before we come on now, that's some real stuff right there, man. With the goings on, and
Yeah, it is.
it, but those are the kind of topics that for me as a a dad, as a person that lives in our communities, man, it's like,
Mhm.
at some point the community has to stand up for itself as well. Like,
Yeah.
they have like, enough is enough. Like,
Oh
hey,
well.
you know,
And there's like this is where a lot of the problem lies in, and is that people that are being affected by these situations. So what we were talking about is kind of some of the clash of culture that's been occurring in North America, again, both Canada and the United States. And a lot of people I know here in Canada, it's a land of immigrants as well, and when you come here, there's a certain expectation that you adhere a certain way, and that's not to infringe on anyone's rights. In fact, it's causing the exact opposite effect, which is when somebody is being looked at. And one of the examples they were talking about was people hanging out around the fences at the public pools and staring at kids and staring at young women and stuff, and then them calling the police, and the police being like, well, there's nothing we can do here. And the kind of thing went through my head is, if the shoe was on the other foot and that was a local doing the same thing, the police would be involved immediately, right? So that double standard is causing a lot of people to really start to act out and clash and cause more of a divide than we're already dealing with. And I think that's one of the scariest and saddest parts of it all.
yeah, yeah. Well, and you know, for a for any country to live in peace with each other, there
Yeah.
has to be a set of standards.
Hmm.
Okay, that's what they're there for. It's not to oppress. Though sometimes it may feel like it, because there's certain laws that for myself, I'm like, man, I don't even know why that. But
Hmm.
it's not just about me, and you have to get off of me island when you start thinking about a community. A
Yep.
community is not just you. That's the whole idea behind it. And if each one of us are not willing to hold ourselves to a certain standards, then you have laws that keep you there. And
Yep.
hey, that's just the way that ball bounces. Some laws make sense in your opinion, some laws may don't. But the whole idea behind it is that that's what keeps a society in check, is there's repercussions, there's consequences
Mhm.
for the actions that we do. And that's what brings safety, is like, okay, if people know that they're not going to just get away with certain things, then there might not going to be as apt to do it. Like
No.
if when I was younger, if somebody, like there was things that I did. I mean, you kinda knew that, like, "Well, I probably won't get called at it," so you did it. That's the reason that you did.
Yeah.
But if you
Oh,
knew
yeah.
that you were gonna get called at it, you're like, "Ah, man, no, I don't
Not
wanna
right
do
now.
that, 'cause
No.
we'll get hemmed up in that," you
Yeah.
know? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's the same principles, man. And
Mm.
man, did you get to hear about that young gal that wound up losing her life to that dude in Charlottesville, or whatever, man, where she got stabbed? Dude just got up from behind her and stabbed her and killed her.
Well, just a random
Just a
attack.
dude, he reached in his pocket, got out what I guess would look like a pocket knife, right? And just stood up. And this
Oh,
little guy couldn't have been 100 pounds soaking wet. I mean, she was a tiny little thing, and she was a Ukrainian, Ukrainian immigrant. She had escaped the war
oh
to come to
my.
the United States, right? Got off work, gets on this public bus or public transit or whatever, and is going home. and they say that they didn't know each other, that it was not like they had a relationship or anything like that. It was just she got on the bus, happened to sit in the seat right in front of him. You could see him reaching his, and the bad part, I mean, well, I say the bad part, the bad and good part is it's all called on film. It's heinous.
Yeah,
It's terrible. I don't
yeah,
suggest watching it. It's terrible. But just take my word, it was horrible. And it's
yeah.
like that young lady didn't see it coming. She did,
No.
and then this is the part that makes me sick now.
Mm,
Those people that was right there. Now,
yeah.
as heinous as what this crime was, we got ignorance that happens, and I accept that there's some evilness that goes on. But not one soul jumped up to try to figure out what was going on and help that young lady. Nobody even offered to hold her hand. Damn. I mean,
Whoa, that's cold,
like,
man. Like
yo,
you, I don't know how you could sit back and watch that. That's been something like, ever since I was a kid. Like, I didn't get bullied so much. I did have a bully for a short period of time, but most of the fights and stuff I was ever in was because something was happening to somebody that just wasn't right. And I don't know how you sit there and allow that to happen without trying to make some kind of effort. Like they coined that term,
or
by
somebody wounded and you don't
yeah.
even offer to get up and try to help, like something. I don't know what I'd have done, but I mean, I at
Some
least try
fellow
to
came.
stop the bleedings or something, or call,
Well,
whatever, man. Like, I don't
you'd think
know.
no. Well,
But
like
everybody
like
just sat there, bro. Everybody just sat there and then got up
yeah.
and started trying to make their way off of the thing. Like here, there's
Well, they
blood
call it.
dripping up.
Have you ever heard of the term bystander effect before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know the guy who came out with this. Like when I first heard it, I'm like, it kind of makes some sense. But like the human side, like so, bystander effect just simply means everybody thinks somebody else is going to
It's
do
gonna
something
do
about
something.
it,
Yeah.
right? And it doesn't work like that. You have to take action. It's
Yeah.
interesting because that's something that I've noticed again, just little things, like nothing extreme as that, but where people freeze up, like in a situation, like I'll use like hockey here last week. Like it was a day, like I always have all my gear with me and stuff like that, but they're going through their levels right now, right? So they're training, and then that's done by a certain group, then we take it over from there. And nobody showed up for these kids, right? For this particular drill that was supposed to happen. And everyone's starting to freak out. And it's about 5 minutes in. So, the decision's made. I grab my stuff. I'm going on the ice. We're going. You know what I mean? And then that sparked 3 other people coming on and doing it with me. And I'm like, man, it just takes one thing. And that goes both ways. Yeah. Yeah. But those violent attacks, man, like they're getting out of hand. Like when I was on a vacation here, not that long ago, here in August, when I went out to Calgary and then BC, literally 2 blocks from where my mom lives, we were watching the 6 o'clock news, and a very almost identical story that you just told happened on the bus. And the police it was a police involved shooting. They had to shoot the guy to get him to stop doing what he was doing.
It's crazy.
And in a 2-week period, I seen that, and the guy try to blow up a car in the parking lot of where she lives. And this is supposed to be one of the better ends of town. So yeah, right. You know what I mean? So
Santiago, hey, shout out to
appreciate it.
Santiago DY, said listening at work, man.
Yep.
Listening at
Thank
work.
you very much.
Long-time friend of our community. I appreciate you, Santiago. Thank you, brother.
Yep.
Hey, but it's one of them things, man, where it just all comes back down to, guys, that's why that there is like rule. That's why there needs to be rules in place. That's why that you can't allow, like for example, this guy that I'm talking about. What the shameful part is his family. His family had tried to get the law to intervene and be like, look, man, he has like some true it. So they did a disservice to that man by not figuring out a way to lock him up and give him help or give him a timeout, whatever the hell you want to call it. And they did a disservice to the society that had to live around them, because, for the unexpecting, for the people that know this, they're going to keep an eye on them. For the people that
Mhm.
don't know this, they're unexpected, and then you wind up with victims that didn't deserve any of this, shouldn't have never been involved in any of this.
Yep.
And it starts with, man, he had, I think they said he had like 14 other charges or something like that. Dude,
Wow,
like,
dude.
and he had family, like and when I say family, Sean, I'm talking like his mom, his brother, his like
Wow. Yep.
people trying
Yep.
to say like, hey, he will commit more crimes.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with him, and then they
Yep.
still all cashless bail, and bond and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, man, I get that there's some people out there that probably don't deserve to be there. I get that.
Yeah.
But man, it's like this. Whether I got caught for the crime that I got caught for, or whether I did or didn't do it, I've done enough. I deserve to be there either which way in the end. I
Yep.
got mine. I did it. I come home and that's it.
Mhm.
I get that there's some that's in there maybe that don't deserve it, and we keep fighting for them. But man, when somebody is showing that they want,
Clear signs. Like
yeah,
there is a law. There's multiple laws in effect for it. If you are clear harm or danger to yourself or others, you are supposed to be taken at least to a psych evaluation.
yeah,
And like the more that we talk about this, the more it just sparks things in my brain. On that same trip I was telling you about before, when we went to BC the first time, we were driving, and I said to my buddy that was driving, I said, look, and the ladies were in the back. I said, there's somebody laying on the side of the road. Now this is the Trans Canada Highway, and it's in an area called Black Diamond, which is like the middle of nowhere. Like if you break down, you hope somebody stops to pick you up, right?
you hope it gets daylight that day.
Exactly. And my buddy's like, holy crap, like this guy's passed out, 100% passed out, and he's laying in like the slower lane of traffic. It's a 2-lane highway, right? And so he stops the car like as quick as he can, and he puts it in front of him, puts the 4-ways on. I'll speed through this. We called the police. They took 47 minutes to get there. This man was clearly inebriated. You know what I mean? Like he had too much of whatever he had, but he was kind of coherent. But he's laying on the middle of the road on a highway. The solution from the police was to put up 4 pylons. I can't even make this up, and a piece of caution tape. They refused to take him with them because he refused to go with them. But in that situation, how many laws, if we don't even go to the mental health side of things, have been broken? You know how many times I've been picked up for drinking in public? You know
No
what I
doubt.
mean? Like
No
it
doubt.
blew my mind. And we got facilities that we put billions of dollars into to do exactly this. And this is what happens. It's just, and what's so alarming to me is how, like, I try not to go into the whole rabbit hole of what you see online. I'm telling you stories of what I have personally witnessed in the last 4 weeks. You know what I mean? So what is happening here, and like how do we get back from here, I guess, is a better question of what do we
Well,
do.
it's by enforcing the laws that's on the books. I can't speak for Canada, but I can
Yeah.
tell you from the United States side, there's a lot of like, for example, all right, now everybody wants to come down on our ICE agents, our agents in the field. Okay,
Right.
these people are no more in power than what your local sheriff department is. They follow the laws that's on the books that Congress and those types of things pass for them. But
Mm-hmm.
yet you have people wanting to, call out their family and stalk them and all this kind of stuff when they're doing the job that the
Yep.
people that's up there calling them, bad people, they're the ones that make the rules for these people to
Yeah.
follow. So
Yeah.
I think it starts with following the rules that's on the books first, and
Well,
everybody being in agreement that there's going to be some that you agree with. There's going to be some that you don't, but just because you don't agree with them don't mean you have a right to grandstand and call people
and
names or
no,
whatever because you don't like a particular
And if you
cool.
don't like it, there are also like laws for that in both of our countries. Like we should not be going at each other. We should be going at where the problem is
You
stemming
put
from.
the law, you go amend the law. You know, you like
You know
you
what I mean? For like any of the, you know, that
done
kind of stuff. Yeah.
like as bad as what people wanted to come down on President Trump.
Yeah.
Like, hey, he kept saying that, man, you can close the border down just by you can stop this immigration. The whole time we was letting thousands and thousands of people unvetted come
Hmm.
in from all different places. He's saying the whole time, like there's laws that's on the books already that if you just follow the laws that's on the books, they wouldn't be doing it. You wouldn't be having
Well,
this.
and
And he
here's the
proved it.
here was another thing that was pretty alarming when I was watching and seeing some of the stuff that I'd seen, and then I did my research into it. You know, like the rule of, okay, you can come to Canada or the United States, and there's other countries as well, if you're in a war-torn country, right? Like if there's fear for your life. Most of the people that are coming here, that's not the situation. They're coming
No.
from countries where there is no war. They don't even have enough money to go to war. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Not
they
to
don't they're fighting with machetes and
like
sticks and stuff.
and
I
living
mean,
in conditions that amaze me human beings can survive in, but then you come over here and live the same way. That's not, you can't do that,
you
man.
can't do
Like you
that.
can't, and there's no
You're
reason for
supposed
it.
to, if you're wanting to be a citizen or part of, at least for the United States, is on. I've never lived in any other country, and I'm not a, I don't know that much, but
Hmm.
I do know that you're supposed to assimilate. It's not, the country is not supposed to assimilate to you.
Yeah,
You are supposed to assimilate to the country. And
it, yeah,
us having laws again, just because we want people to be properly vetted, when you say that everybody say, oh, you don't want immigration. Yeah, I do. I love immigration.
yeah, yeah.
You follow my bloodline far enough back. I'm an immigrant myself, or a family
Yes,
of
sir.
immigrant
So am
descendants.
I.
All
Yep.
of us are.
Mhm.
I'm a mutt. I have everything. I don't even know what and all's in there. My bloodline is, I ain't pure nothing but BS.
Well,
So
well, I
it's
know my
like,
people landed on Prince Edward Island in 1612, and I know that because they made themselves a landing post, as they call it, right? So that's like, a while back, but I mean, there were people that started on the East Coast, and some of them made themselves west, but it was always like this, we're working together, and it didn't matter where you were from. I mean, you had Scotch, Irish, English, like these are all factions that were killing each other before they got on that boat and came over here, right?
yeah.
So
Well,
it's,
you can't just
you know
open up the board. Like, it's just common sense, man. Like, you can't just open up your borders and just let it flood in, because, man, you've got to protect the resources you have to protect the people that's in there
oh,
before you can just let a flood of people that you don't know, if they're there. And that, I know it sucks that it kind of puts it in a way where, man, there's a lot of good people that want to get in. I
mhm,
get that. But there's a lot of bad people that want to get in too. And they,
mhm,
and the good people that are true blue about wanting to assimilate to another country, they do the process that they have to do to make sure they're legit,
yep,
and they do what they got to do. And man, you can't ask for a harder working set of people from any facet that are coming here trying to make a better way. And I'm all for that. But
yep,
you still have to protect your homeland. You can't, if you're going to be a sovereign nation, there has to be rules in which that you abide by. This is my whole point. There's a lot of countries that I can't go. They wouldn't want me there.
no,
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like some of these countries that want to just flood into ours, but we couldn't do the same to theirs. They wouldn't accept that. They'd be like, "Hey, yo, why are you here?" You
well,
know?
I mean, yeah, and
You let me
you know,
try coming across over into Canada like that. Yeah.
well, like like that part, like yeah, like I mean, that's kind of like another discussion for me. I think that that's a whole nother discussion between Canada and the US right now, because I really hope that gets figured out soon. But with
51,
the
baby.
51 and counting, yeah. But at just a very basic, like level of this conversation. It's like, how do they not understand? Like, every system can only supply so much demand, right? Every system. And you can figure those numbers out pretty easily. So if you don't have the infrastructure, and then on top of it, I'm not saying everybody's not qualified maybe for something that's coming here, but it seems like when Ontario's withdrawing 5,000 licenses in a month because the people can't read English, it starts making you ask a lot of questions, right?
Yeah.
So, how come that isn't being factored into the equation? Because any other way you see it, and I want it to be clear, because it's easy. A lot of people don't like talking about this because they're gonna be like, oh, they're racist or whatever, or he's racist. I don't really care what anybody thinks about that end of it, because I think that both sides are getting the short end of the stick. If our government's allowing people to come over here and they know they're not equipped to assimilate, that they don't know the language even a little bit, then they're setting them up for failure,
Yeah,
right?
they are.
And then on top
and setting the society up that they're moving into for failure.
There you go. So,
Because I don't want, I mean, it's just it comes down to I don't want a criminal living next to. I like knowing that Miss Denise and my mom and dad and my mom and dad-in-law and Scott down the road and brother Jesse over here. I like knowing that they're pretty decent people and good people. And I wouldn't want a criminal living across the street or somebody. And I don't know what nationalities all those. I know what my mom and dad and Courtney's mom and dad, but I don't ask Scott about his nationality. I don't ask Jesse about. I don't care about that. I just know they're good people to me, and they treat me fine, and they've been good to my kids since we lived here. And so it's like, it just makes common sense. Like, you want good people around you. So the vetting and the making sure that people are ready to assimilate and can take care of themselves. Like, you're not supposed to be coming here dependent on welfare. You're just not supposed to be. You're supposed to come here able to be a productive member of society. It's not meant for you to come here and draw off of any system, whether it be Canada or whether the United States or wherever it is. You're supposed to be coming in to be self-reliant, to build a business or start working and have an education or whatever it is. And that's okay rules to ask for, dude. That's not
and like, that's where, like, when I was doing a bit of research on this topic, and this is only for Canada because I wasn't looking in the United States. They have, like, we have laws that there's requirements that if you're like new landed immigrant or whatever term they're using now, that it's mandatory you have a basic English course and some kind of degree to help out. Now, here's the back nine on this. From what I found, is that there are a whole bunch of, I'll just call them crooks, that have opened up 800 of these schools for these people coming from other countries and fast tracking them through. Like, one of the big ones is the class 1 18-wheeler industry. So, like, years ago, it would take you, and I remember this because I thought about doing it for a period of time, but it was a $10,000 course and like 6 months. So, like, you know what I mean? I couldn't swing it. And now they found out, like, that they were all they were doing was, they're supposed to be like, I think it's 140 class time hours where you learn about the theory and how the rig works and stuff like that. Well, they caught these guys bypassing that whole part out. Instead of it being $10,000, they're offering it for $2,500, and they're just teaching a person on how to do an S turn and back up the truck and park it, because that's all you get tested on when you actually go to the DMV for your class 1 inspection. Can you back her in on an S? So now, if I don't teach you everything else that comes before that, right, and you have very little to no understanding of English, and I put you on the road in a vehicle like that, is that sensible? It does not seem to be, because of a lot of the things that have been happening on the roads lately,
Yeah, man, that one dude that crashed down here, I mean, he was trying to make a U-turn where you wouldn't have been able to make a U-turn with a damn vehicle, with a truck, with a regular with my
five
pickup
people.
truck.
That's the one where 5 people were unalived, right? Where the van hits like that in the
Yeah,
side.
the dude was coming. He cut real wide and then cut back across, thinking he could make a U-turn where you could barely turn like my car, or your car, or a regular car around,
I've seen that.
and
Yep.
done it right in front. And there was this minivan going at the speed limit's like 75. So he had no dude. That dude whipped over, and I mean, you could see the guy had no time. It was like bam, and underneath that dude, his van just went underneath because the trailer was
Yeah.
crossways on the
Just
road.
sheared off the. Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
just went in, dude, and it just crunched up like if this was the truck, it just crunched in like that up, man, and it killed everybody in there, bro.
Yep. Yep.
And
Yep.
and then to beat it all, once again, one of these
Mhm.
reactions for me would be
Mhm.
like, dude, you mean to tell me your reaction to somebody just running up underneath you, and you can see that they're probably dead, and your reaction is like
Yep.
nothing happened, man. If he'd have jumped out of the truck and like run up there and tried to help, then I'd have some kind of heart, like maybe
Yep.
he's just stupid.
Yeah.
But man, he didn't even jump out of the truck and run over immediately and start
Mhm.
trying to figure out how to help, dude. He was just sitting there. Like,
I read the tail end of like at least the last newspaper clipping because I seen this, and then I pulled up some stuff and I read on it, and it said that he was arrested and held for like 5 or 6 hours. Then he was released, and he's supposed to be deported. And when he
that
was
guy,
yeah, and when he was
I think he's still in jail.
is this the like we're talking about the East Indian fellow, right?
Yeah, had his brother with him in the passenger
Oh,
seat.
okay, no, okay, this is a different dude. This
Oh,
guy
okay.
this guy was by himself. He did the exact same thing you're describing. And like he went to do the U-turn and the van hit and it was just him in the truck and he gets out and he's just like no reaction. I don't
That's the same one. He had his brother got deported,
okay,
and
that
he's
yeah.
still in jail. Like
So
they
then it
kept
was his brother when they asked him when he got it like it released or whatever, like out to be able to talk to people. Like how what happened, like you know what I mean, like what went wrong, like was there something that happened that like you missed, and he's just like I don't want to talk about it like because of my feelings. And I was like that's just kind of a strange thing to like, shouldn't you talk about it because you got feelings about it, like maybe remorse or I'm sorry or what a terrible, you know what I mean, like something. I don't know.
Something, man. That's what
Yeah.
I say about them people on that bus. Like, just if it would have made me feel better if somebody at least jumped up and tried to do something,
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Even if all you did was hold that little girl's hand.
It's
God bless.
man, it's messed up. Like it's like they're Calgary. Like when I lived out there, there was quite a few things that happened. It was kind of my first kind of paying attention, and I was in my late 20s, right? To like there's something going on with people. And I remember the first story that really caught my attention was the fellow on the Greyhound. Did you hear about this story down your way? There was a fellow on a Greyhound up here, and he had a large knife, and he unalived a person by removing their head on the bus and tried to attack other people. Police ended up showing up. This guy got taken, put into psych ward, I think for like 4 years, and he's been back on the streets, you know, as long as he takes his medications, man. And I just, you know, and like there's several stories like that. And one of them, I remember one morning driving to work, and it was just like kind of like one of them horror movies, and it was right after Halloween, like you know what I mean. So all the decorations were up, and a young fella who was in university had showed up at this Halloween party, and he unalived with a knife. I think 5 people, but he had harmed like 17. Same story. Put in the hospital for a bit, put on medication, back out now.
No.
So
nah, even if you do have something mentally wrong with you, if you do something like that, I'm sorry, but your medicine should be given to you while you spend the rest of your life in prison. You know, that's just, I'm sorry, but that's just the way. Like, okay, if we get that you had a mental disorder, well, now you're going to take this medicine, but you're also going to live your days out within the confines of this fencing area right here.
like what a chance to take, especially like if we just look at pharmaceuticals
Well, if
and
the
like,
parole officers let them go stay at their house, then I'm
oh
okay.
yeah,
Okay,
sure. I
okay, that
mean, if you
sounds
got
fair.
some kind of living facility or something, but
No, the
even then,
PO, I
even
want
then,
them going home with the parole officers for at least
yeah,
6
while I'm
months.
going
I want
everywhere with an escorted somebody,
no,
you
no,
know what
no.
I
I
mean?
just want them to get to call the parole officers home. Home. If the
Yeah,
parole officer's willing to take them home with
I
them
get
for
what you're
6
saying.
months,
Yeah,
then
yeah,
that will say to me, okay, well, then he's good. Then they really truly believe he's all right. But
yeah.
I wouldn't
But
let that somebody. No, 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 no. You ain't living in my house.
no,
Uh-uh.
no. I mean,
You slashed some people up a few years back. I ain't living in my.
fool me once, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No,
I just don't believe I can't sleep for the rest of my life. Nope, sorry.
you
Uh,
look like you'd make a nice skin suit.
Dude,
Like, no,
I mean, let's be
dude.
honest. I would never
Yeah.
trust them. Like, no, hell no. Like, okay, you might have needed some medicine. Well, what if you accidentally don't take your medicine?
Yeah, what if you think you took it and you didn't? I mean,
Right.
what
I don't want us getting our slice and dice on and not having no kind of no reason for it.
what
You
kind
know,
of medicine would you prescribe for slice and dice per se?
right? Like,
You know,
it
like,
depends on which side of the slice and the dice, I guess, that you get. Because hey, shout out to brother Gen X, man. Dude, you're well
yeah,
pumped, man. That sucks, man. At least it went out while it's warm,
yeah,
though. At
yeah,
least it's warm weather, brother. But shout out to you, man. Dude, that's a pain in the butt.
yeah. Mhm.
Especially if you don't do it all the time. Like I've done it at my mom and dad-in-law's. I've done it here 3 different times now. But it's not, and I done it at Zach's. Me and him and his dad done it one time. You've done it just enough to kind of know enough to do it, but you're really not. That's
No,
not what you do.
you're flying on a hope and a prayer most of the time that
Yeah.
thing comes up and doesn't break.
That's like
Yeah,
man, because you
yeah.
just know that you're not prepared for the contingency plan. I don't have a
The
contingency plan.
everybody who's had to do that has the same thought. What happens if this
Eh,
rope snaps off and it drops 150 feet into the
and I
ground?
feel like that's a natural
Yeah,
fear to have. Like
I think so. Yep.
I feel like that's
It's I
natural.
think it's a healthy fear because it makes you
It's
be
a
extra
healthy fear.
cautious. Makes you
It
extra cautious,
it does, man.
maybe use a
Now
second
ours,
rope. Yeah.
like they had a cable that was also attached to it that ran up with it, like a quarter-inch cable all the
Yeah.
way down. So that, kind of ensured you as long as you had a hold of that cable, then you were all right. But what if what if the fools that put it down in there just use the pipe to drop it down in, and then all you got's that to pull on?
Yeah. You
I
better
mean,
hope she's seized up from years of
dude,
calcification.
and I
You
can
know,
promise, for me, it would not be. For
no,
me, it
no,
would not be. It would be
no.
ready to fall off there. As soon as I started pulling on it, it'd be like, "Hello."
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Oh, snap,
yeah,
man.
yeah. Well,
Oh,
I had one break right at the top. Like once we got it right to the top, it sheared off from the side, and the whole bottom was gone out of it. It just rusted out. But yeah, that was the closest call. At least at least we got her out. Because man, yeah, I don't know
oh,
what
that
you would do.
sucks.
Like, I guess
It
you'd have to lower somebody down on a pulley and like,
yeah, right.
right?
You only got a 6-inch case, so I ain't going.
Yeah, let's
I
grease
ain't
you up.
going.
We'll grease you
Now,
up.
I
Yeah.
tell you, the only other way that I would know that you would get that back up out of there would be to take a rope and put a weight on the bottom of it and
Yeah.
drop it till it hits it, and then start twisting that rope up at the top until that rope twisted on itself down in there. Kind of like when you're pulling wire, if you get to a
Electrician
point.
trick. That's an
Yeah,
electrician trick. Yeah, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
man, you can, so
Mhm.
maybe you might could do that and maybe get a loop somehow and put, but other than that, I really don't. I
Well,
guess it'd just be in
there
its
is.
new home. It'd be
Yeah,
where it stays at.
yeah. Well, like my brother, when I seen him, he had bought one of these high. Have you ever seen these guys using fishing magnets? So it's
Mhm,
like high
mhm,
power mag.
mhm.
Man, he got one of these things. Now I knew that they were strong, but I had no idea like you needed to, like a crowbar to get it off metal kind of strong. So that might be an idea too. I was just thinking because like
Maybe,
it
yeah.
it's incredible what that will like. I'm sure that you could run and jump onto a moving train and like I would have 100% confidence that that thing's not going to wiggle.
Really?
It ain't even going to move. It ain't going to move. Like you throw these
Sounds
things in
like
the
a good
water.
idea.
Yeah,
I'll
right.
film you doing it.
Yeah, let's do
Somebody
it.
got to film. Somebody
Should I
got
wear
to.
should I wear my sandals?
I got a tutu.
Make it
I
extra
loan you
dangerous.
I loan
Yeah.
you the tutu. Uh, man, yeah. I mean, but yeah, I
Yeah.
have seen those people that do that with it, and they find some cool stuff. I mean,
We found some cool stuff.
I
I won't
mean,
talk about it on here, but we found some cool stuff. Like
370 feet, Clint.
what?
Yeah, almighty. $1,900 on a 1 horsepower and 500 foot of wire and rope and pipe. Good God Almighty, bro.
How much?
Good.
$1,900?
$1,900.
Wow.
I believe it too, bro. I believe
Whoa.
that, man.
That's crazy.
Dude, man,
Great.
that's a job too, man. 370. Mine was when I done mine out here on that live stream.
Yeah.
My property line is 222 feet on the plat map. Well,
Yep.
from where the pole is that marks that corner they measured to the pole out here on the other side, I
Yeah.
was about like maybe 25, 30 feet from being all the way to so I figure right at 200 feet is about where
That's
my
crazy. You guys got to go down deep down there. Like
oh yeah, man, in the mountains, bro.
up here, I mean, you go down 30, 50 feet, man, and you're into the water table. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
yeah.
man. And here, I mean, now some people, may not like limestone water, but man, it's so clean and just good. It's just good water.
Yeah.
Now it's hard on small appliances. It's hard on coffee pots.
Yeah.
It's hard on Keurigs. It's hard on dishwashers. It's hard on like shower heads. You got to soak them in vinegar every couple.
You put a
months.
water softener in.
Put a water, yeah. You can put some water, or some people just have like whole house filter.
Yeah, that's what I
they
mean.
put,
Yeah.
yeah. My mom and them, they use one of the countertop
Yep.
filters, and my mom filters the water before she makes her coffee and stuff like that, just to keep
Right.
it from messing up her coffee pot. But I don't go through all that. I just use the coffee pot till it stops working, then I throw it out, and then I get me another one because they're like $35. It's like
You're due for a change at that point anyway, right?
Well,
Like,
if you try to buy bottled water for it, and you're going to pay that in bottled water, trying to buy bottled water, you might as well just use the damn pot, let it burn up, and go get you a brand new one when it gets
it's
done.
crazy what a bottle of water costs these days, man. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's craziness.
Like you're not saving yourself any money by saying, well, I don't want to ruin my coffee pot. Well, horse crap.
Yeah.
You're running your wallet by having to go buy that daggone bottle of water like that, man.
That's it.
Like, and I mean, I make a couple pots a day most of the time. Like I'll make one in the morning, and I finish that. I don't want to say I drink the whole pot, but I make a full pot. That way I can have as many cups as I want. And then I dump what little bit of it is left out. And then usually about 6, 7 o'clock in the evening, I'll make me another cup. Me and my wife used to be like our little thing is we drank coffee together in the mornings and in the evenings. Well, she don't really drink coffee no more, but I drink enough for both of us.
There you go.
I took it upon myself to do that as a husband. And I was like, she's not wanting to drink coffee no more, but yet we've kind of signed on with Folgers in Maxwell House. and I feel like
I feel wrong quitting at this point.
I felt like somebody's going without. I didn't have a second pot of coffee today.
Yeah.
There is somebody out there that's like, man, we didn't even get to work today. So I go ahead and have my second pot. But I like my coffee, man. I like it. I like it with some fluff in it. Some, like with caramel macchiatos. My cream.
Oh yeah, see, that's why I had to stop drinking coffee because I was like, I love those different delights
Yeah, oh yeah.
the
Oh
vanilla
yeah,
one
I
would be
get
like,
down with caramel macchiato.
yeah,
Man, dang, that stuff's good. But I also like
yeah,
black coffee too. Like in the evening
yeah.
time, I will have morning time, my second cup is a black cup, and in the evening time, I usually won't use much of my creamer in the evening time. Just because you can't afford that. You can't afford to drink the shit all. It's too damn
No,
high.
it's too expensive.
Just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
eh,
Are you a
I
decaf guy too, or are you like that hardcore into coffee, or is it always
Oh,
caffeine?
no, I want fully leaded. No, I
Yeah,
want a
okay.
kick when I
Good.
get
Good answer. Good
yeah, dude.
answer.
I
Yeah.
wanna when I go to pour the cup, I wanna pour the pot like that and then wait a few seconds for the coffee to actually come out. I
Yeah.
like that. Oh,
Yeah.
I like that. I like a good strong cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Like, but I also, I wanna, like, I can't stand weak coffee. I cannot
No.
stand
Like
scared
what
coffee.
colored water. Yeah,
Yeah,
no
you give
thanks.
me a scared cup of water. I don't want a
Yeah.
scared cup of water. I want a cup of damn coffee.
I just
You
got what
know,
that meant. Yeah.
you know, all you
Yeah.
did was give me a scared cup of damn water. I don't want that.
Squirt. Yeah.
Yeah, a little yeah. You're kind of wondering what is in that cup.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
I have more questions than answers now.
yeah, just why I don't want to be able to see the newspaper through the cup of coffee. I just
I
don't
love
want to be able to do it.
I love it, dude. I seen this guy freaking out, and he's like, "I told you 7 damn times. I want a tall, black, double. Put it in my hand. I give you the money. This is how this works." It's just like, and like in fairness, he did say it like 7 to 10 times. And the person was like, "Sorry, we don't understand your order." It's probably some kid just messing with him, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, he got to the level where he's full on man yelling and explaining, like, "You pour the
That's funny.
coffee, you put it in the cup, I put it in my hand, I leave. Do you understand?"
I totally feel the frustration though, man.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
sometimes that and I'm kind of like weird about
Did
like
you say Big Mac?
yeah, it's like man, you know, come on,
Yeah,
man. Like no, I said Big Mac.
yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You know,
And would you like fries with that?
yeah, yeah,
I am going to unalive you.
yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like I get so I'm not a fast food kind of guy just because I don't like dealing with some of the nonsense that goes on. And
I don't
like
trust.
we go to our regular like little McDonald's and we kind of already have the shifts kind of worked out where this shift does a good job during like the lunch shift
Yeah.
there is kicking butt, dude. Like when you can pull in and there'll be a line all the way around that building, but dude, you won't be there but about 5 minutes because they're
You get your
pumping
food
you,
and it's
pumping
fresh
your
and
food,
hot.
bro.
Yeah.
It'll be so hot I'm a fillet of fish kind of guy, man. I
Yep.
love fillet of fish. But I'm like
Mhm.
a half a sandwich at a time kind of bite kind of guy. But you gotta be
Yeah.
mindful. Oh, you'll get burned up, man.
That tartar sauce will burn you bad.
Hey, there's been a couple times, man, like I'll be hungry and I'll open my sandwich, be like,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
but that's when you're getting a good one,
That's
like,
right.
all right,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
And another thing that's like my pet peeve is when you get a sandwich and
Yeah.
like say you get something with cheese, and it's like
Mhm.
your cheese is half on, half off your sandwich.
Oh man, can you not
Why?
make it square? Can you not square it up? Like, is
Okay,
it
why?
that hard to do?
Like why?
Yeah. I mean, you
I
gotta
tell you
have.
another thing that disgusts me, dude, is when you get the first thing I do is look at my top bun.
Yeah.
But like you get a sandwich, you open it up, you look at it, and you can see where somebody not only did they not just palm it and mash it down, you can see the 3-finger indentions in the top of your bun. And you're
Okay.
like,
The
man,
one,
those ain't my fingertips.
man, true story. One time I lost my mind and I was like, he's like, pickles like cause me to take like a bit of a reaction, right? Like it break my mouth out. So I'm like, I don't eat them unless I have to. You know what I mean? If this was the end of the world situation, I could eat them.
Yeah.
However, I prefer to not have them on my burger. And remember, once upon a time, if you told them like, "Hey, don't put pickles on there; it causes a reaction, please, thank you," that's what they would do. They would make a new bun. But as you were saying, you can open it up and see where the pickles were removed by hand and then put back on. I opened it in the driveway and the drive-through one time and just whipped the whole thing back at him. I was furious, man. I'm like, what if that was something that like I really was like badly allergic to? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like all that pickle juice is still up in there. Your grubby fingers, who knows what's on those that you pulled off? Definitely not wearing gloves. Like, come on, right? And then like, no, done with it. Done with it. I gave it up. I said, I'm done with the fast food, man. I'm not. I just can't do it. My mind can't unsee and can't.
God.
No, I ain't worth it.
Oh, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. And if they're disrespectful enough to do that, then just imagine the other disrespect. Yeah. Like because they're like as coming from a man that helped run a restaurant, I can tell you that it's on you to be respectful of that food.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's on you because you have to have that wherewithal in you. Like, nah, I wouldn't.
And the care of being like, I don't want to make somebody sick or possibly kill them. See, that's the thing. It's like people think like, oh, whatever, like blah, blah. No, you could kill somebody. Like you actually could.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, right? elevated Einstein from our little chat and our little community, man. Like his daughter is like deathly allergic to peanut allergies. Like she can't even touch something with that shit, or it wind up, but you have people like that out there that truly like just by your mishandling, not because of any other reason, by your mishandling, you might have just caused them a whole night of sickness or week or possibly kill them. Because of your mishandling and lack of education.
Yes.
A lot of it's lack of knowledge, man. Your time and temps and things like that.
That makes me wonder some stuff though, right? Because like, I mean, there's not knowing and making a careless mistake. And then there's what maybe my standards are too high, but I see as blatant ignorance. Like, for example, if you're not wearing gloves and you're handling food, right? You know what I mean?
That's
like,
not going to be cooked.
Or that, you've just reset the timer on 50 times after it was supposed to be thrown out after 30 minutes, right? Like there are rules and regulations for a reason. Then that stuff to me is like, it's like, that's just lazy. That's what it is.
Well, and it's compromising $1 for somebody's health. And that should never be, that should never be an option in your singular brain or in your business brain. You don't do that. But sadly enough, once again, talking about rules, that's why these rules are in place, because some folks would, if there wasn't rules in place that kept them. I tell you, one of the things that I absolutely despise is when you go into a Subway or go in somewhere where you can see their workspace and you're like, dude, it takes about 6 seconds for you to wipe that counter space off and not have it looking like that, you dumped a bowl of lettuce out yesterday on it and forgot to clean it up. Like, I can't stand to go in a Subway and you see their prep, because I worked behind a prep table, a 5 foot prep table with the same exact kind. Dude, there was never a moment ever that when me and Zach was serving subs that I didn't have a rag on hand, so that when I got done making a big order, I could quickly wipe down my serving area and have it looking like something, because everybody could see it and I could see it.
Yeah.
You walk in and it's like, dude, it makes you want to say to whoever's in charge, like, it's your responsibility to make sure that whoever's working with you or under you knows Like, this doesn't float. This does not look good. It makes
No.
people like me not want to eat there, because it's like, if you'll be so lazy as to leave that shit lay where people can see it, what's going on back there with people?
What don't I know? You know what I
What
mean?
don't I
Exactly.
know?
Yep,
And
exactly. I
there,
agree with it, man. Like that's a big thing that's happening up here again, and it ties to the beginning of this conversation that we were having about the influx of people coming from all over, and you know, a lot of the younger kids that are from the areas can't get jobs now in these just because there's no jobs to be had. And like when you're starting out, I mean, you're starting out in fast food or you're starting out at a gas station or something, right? And this, like the quality, and again, I think it comes to language and understanding. Like if you don't understand English and all the orientation videos I show you are in English, like you might pick a few things out of the pictures or something that you're watching,
right.
but then I come into your restaurant and I see something spilt on the floor and I see cups that have fallen down into that said mess that everybody's been walking through. And then I see them picked back up and used to serve people.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, I'm not gonna do it. It's just not good.
Well,
No thanks.
for people running restaurants, man, whether, you know, whether it's a language barrier or whether it's a barrier between your moralities, man, there's
Yeah.
handling instructions, and there's proper time and temps for a reason,
Yep.
uh, that outweigh any of your reasons for not doing the things that you're supposed to do. So I think that that is like, you know, it's a personal responsibility. Like, you have to be that personally, you know, you have to take that much personal um time to make sure that you're not doing things wrong, because it only takes a the wrong way of cooling something down, or not proper refrigerating or whatever, and the next thing you know, there's people sick. And from a business side, let's just be honest, a nice clean workspace just looks better. It just feels better when people come into your establishment. A good, clean smelling restaurant or bar. Like, have you ever been? I know why I say have you ever, but man, like going into these old bars and stuff, there was several times where that it's like, man, what is that smell? Like, y'all need to do something with that damn smell, you know, like, like,
Yeah. Is that
like something
sewer
ain't right.
gas? Like, what is happening?
Yeah, you're
Well,
like, I know I'm not the only one that can smell this. So, like,
no,
you
I
know,
noticed
so
it big time after. I don't know. Can you guys still smoke in the bars down there?
no, at least not
No,
around here. No,
not
no.
not up here either. It's been a while. It's been at least 10 years, maybe 15. But I remember when they took smoking out of the bars, like people used to complain, like, "Oh, the smoke is too bad," and blah blah blah. I'd be like, yeah, like some nights you could cut it with a knife, pretty much.
Yeah,
However, the smoke masked all the other smells
it
that would
did.
later
It did.
become the palette of scent. You know what I mean? And those weren't great.
Right.
So just
That
years of
That's like those
debauchery.
obvious things that, like, you know, you'll see restaurants that may be struggling, or businesses that may be struggling, and it's like, you know, first and foremost, you know, if you're not busy enough to be paying the bills, then you should be busy enough to have this thing spotless. Like,
Oh
it
yeah.
should be spotless. Like your establishment should look, you
That
know,
old saying, you should never have empty hands on the job. You know what I mean? Like
dude,
there's
me and
always
Zach's
something to do.
little deli out here, dude, there was
Yeah.
never a time that you didn't come in that every stainless steel countertop was high shined and you could freaking see yourself in it, and work areas wiped off and one, because that's just a pride. It was like, dude, we made it to where everybody could see this shit, but we don't want a bunch of stuff piled up either, where it
Yeah.
looked like, you know, like two kids have been in here playing. Like, you know,
No.
you have your establishment set up. That, to me, at least if you don't have nothing else, people know that that's the way you prove you're trying to take care of them.
Yeah,
Like,
man,
hey,
it's made the difference for me on more than one occasion, and it certainly does now. Like, I mean, if I'm downtown, let's say, where there's literally 100 restaurants in a row, like I'm you can go one street and another street and it's all restaurants and bars. I mean,
Yeah.
I can look through the window, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
no. Yep. I literally did this Monday night when I was in town for a show. And, you know, it's like, no, don't even have to. And then you go into the one spot and you're like, yeah, all right, I'll take, you know, I'll roll the dice on this one, let's say.
Yeah.
So, yeah, presentation is a lot. Like, if you don't care, and I mean, that's in yourself too. I mean, if you don't really care about what you're doing or thinking or looking, then most people they're going to treat you the same kind of way. It is kind of scary though how many people are still fueling it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dress for success, baby.
Yeah, that's it, man.
I mean,
Yeah. Just for the job you want, not the job you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I watched Step Brothers, and I'm telling you, they had it right. You got to go in looking like somebody. Now, I don't necessarily think that they should have passed gas while in their job interview, but other than that, they had it right, man. Like, they look
Hello,
good.
Miss Lady. I believe I can help with the pan thing.
Yeah. Brother Desi in the house. Shout out to Brother Desi. Appreciate you being here, my man. Thank you. Brother Clint, man, shout out to you. That sucks, that man. But at least it's warm. At least it's warm. That's the only thing I can say about that is at least it's warm. Well, we were talking about well pumps. Like I think it was yesterday. You know, it's like those kind of things happen, dude. Right. That's I don't surprise me none at all.
Now I've gotten used to that or blunted to that feeling of like, of course it's going to happen when I have 2 cents to my name, and like, of course it is.
Of course, I'm going to be broke, and it's going to be almost impossible for me to even get this accomplished. Of course.
Of course. I have a choice though. I can get super angry about this or just accept it.
That's just the way it happens.
It's just the way it is.
Brother Desi in the house. Thank you again, Brother Desi and Brother Clint and Santiago. Appreciate y'all being here. This is Guy and Sean. For those of you that are just listening or just tuning in, this is at Guy and Sean. You can find us here 11 to 1 Monday, Wednesday, and Friday Eastern Standard Time. We appreciate you guys being here. It's a channel comprised of mainly live streaming with Sean and myself and Brother Tommy, a little bit of Sweet Tea, helping in the back end and doing some things there and coming on as well. But live streaming, podcasting, music, topics, all different sorts of things. That's the things that we're coming at, man.
Random thoughts, synapses.
Random thoughts. You know, sometimes some pontification. And sometimes I say some really smart stuff.
Sometimes.
And I have my Rubik's Cube.
Yeah,
you do. Rubik's Cube, which pretty much lands me in smart land every time. I didn't people know that if you're sitting around working a Rubik's Cube for fun, you gotta be one smart. I mean, you got to be next level. Like, dude,
you're doing it one-handed while having a conversation. Advanced mathematics.
I really did think I'd be able to figure it out, but I ain't been able to. I can't do it. Fuck it.
Back to Rubik's cubes.
Dude. I'll just stick to the clacker. I got the puzzle figured out on it. You go like that. Got it, man. Hey, shout out to you guys. I'm gonna bring up this song that you got here in the bottom, man.
Oh my.
All right, guys. Goodbye.
There you go.
Hello, sweet lady. I'm in need of saving.
Good guys, everybody.
Hello, my darling. Don't you tell me just how you've been. make it happen this time. Let's go, always good vibes. Get out of your bed, I can feel that it's going to be a good day, a great day. Let's go, always good vibes. Create change. Let's go, always good vibes. Let's go, always good vibes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Let me get us back up here. Right there. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, man. Hey, yeah, man. Good vibes, everybody. Appreciate y'all being here. It's Guy and Shine, 11 to 1, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Eastern Standard Time. You can find us at this shared channel at Guy and Shine. We appreciate y'all being here, man. See, I'm gonna put this on a little bit of background.
There you go. A little bit of background. So that song that we just played was called Lullaby, and it'll be available on all music platforms this Friday.
Very good. Very good. Outstanding, man.
Yeah.
Yep. You can find other music as well. You go to any one of those, you can find others that's there. You can find all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. And also, if you are an artist or a musician, I guess I haven't said this in a while, but if you are an artist or musician or whatever it is you do and you have stuff that you want to share, that's what we try to do here as well. So you can always send it in and have it on the show. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, we need to put the email.
Yeah, we do.
Email for here on the page. It might already be there actually on the page.
I think it is.
It probably is. No, Brother Tommy, it's on there. You'll be able to find it. But yeah, you can email us. Let us know because just you have to when you're running a live show. You have to vet. You have to But for those that would like to come on and share, reach out.
Absolutely,
work something out, man. That would be awesome. Let's see. I got myself. Man, this thing is set up. All the things are so small in here now. With the background stuff, just the way the new layout. It's cool, but it's like I get myself in a spot, and then I'm trying to figure out where all the things are. Anyway, good vibes, man. Yeah, that was a good conversation around some of this stuff that we see happening, man. It's from a common sense standpoint, you look at things and you're like, man, it seems so easy. Like some of the things, and I get that there's a lot more intricacies involved in it than just it's like this or like this, but it really does in some ways. It starts with the simple things, man, like enforce the laws that are on the books. And if you don't like the laws that's on the books, don't go at the people that's just doing their job enforcing the laws. Go at the people that are making the laws for those people to enforce. That's the ones that you try to get the thought process changed.
That's where I hope, you know what I mean, like, because I can definitely notice there's been a change in 2025 of people starting to speak up and put stuff out that they were afraid to say because of the countless labels that can be put on you, right? But that's part of the ideology of the same people that are putting these things in place. If I can keep you doing that, and I can keep you fighting amongst yourselves, and I can do whatever I want in the background, and that's where we got to get past this stage. And I think it's coming. I hope it's coming. I really do hope it's coming, because the one thing for everybody is that you want to leave the place better than you found it. I'm a big believer in that, right? So why not do that instead of the opposite, I suppose, and make sure that it is equal for everybody, because that's very important, because that's the difference between there being an escalation in a situation and actually a resolution, right? Like, we can meet on common ground here because we were both treated equally. And if everybody's opinion truly does matter, then so should everything else that follows downstream, right? So
yeah. Well, you got a group of people up there that have forgotten their representatives. They're not leaders. We've given them the idea that they're leaders, at least here in this country. We've given them that idea that they're leaders. They're representatives. They're the lead representatives.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you got them. It's clear as the bell that it's the new Hollywood. You make it to Congress, you're famous. You make it to the House, you're famous. You're part of the in crew.
There's this fellow in Calgary, and he was the mayor for the longest time. His name is Nahid Nenshi. And when I lived and worked in Calgary, I did a lot of work downtown in the core for the government buildings, the municipality buildings. And I knew the predecessor, Ralph Klein. And this fellow was on TV last night talking about he's running for premier now. He's going to try to anyway to run for premier of Alberta, which is a big province for us up here. And his speech to the people and like what he was going to run on was literally him complaining about the fact that, you know, now that he's not mayor and he's like running for a campaign, that he has to drive himself to all these different areas to talk to the people in his Toyota Corolla. And it just said everything I needed to hear. You know what I mean? Right. I was like, dude, like, and the best part is he's like, I used to fly around the world. I used to meet world leaders. It's like, I used to be younger and better looking, but guess what?
Yeah.
You know,
I used to be a player.
Yeah. Like player
back in the day.
Game recognizes game.
Back in the day.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and it's truly turned into you know, a thing of, it's about popularity these days. It's not truly about being a servant of the community. It's about, man, this is going to enrich me. This is going to make me famous. This is going to elevate me to a level that really I don't deserve or haven't even really done anything to show that I'm worthy of it. Like some of these new faces and new people that's come on board, they've only got the attention that they've gotten because they knew how to use TikTok, Instagram, and they had a pretty face, or they were the word of the day. They jumped on whatever word salad of the day was, and they jumped on it and was willing to do that.
And it's shocking how well that technique works. There are countless individuals that are already in power, trying to maintain power, trying to gain that power, that are using that technique multiple times a day. They can say, you know what I mean? The sky is blue. And like, you know what I mean? Then the next one will be the sky is pink. And then we're on to biscuits and gravy. Like, it just constantly is moving forward. Nobody really has any ground or grasp on this, but like, that should be all the indicating signs you need, really. It's like, if you don't stand on you know, singular points or multiple core values, I guess is a better way of saying it, then how can I trust you to do the job that you're doing for a large majority of that province, or maybe the entire country, depending on what your job is?
And the nuance to that statement is, okay, when you get elected to be a representative, then your stance is a representative of your entire constituency. Right. That's your stance.
Yeah.
That's your job. And that's why you get the big bucks, is so that your personal views are only one vote of that.
That's right.
You've got all these other ideas that come in, and that's where you see the fail in all of it, is like, they go there on these principles to say, I'm going to represent my people, but then as soon as they get there, it's about me, I don't like this, I don't like that. But you don't never hear them talking about the people that they actually represent. I don't like this, or this is fascist, or this is this, or this. It's like, people, I know that you're not negotiating with nobody by starting out calling them a racist, fascist, or not.
You already either set yourself back or took yourself out of the conversation.
Yeah.
Right. And you're right, because like, that was the thing that struck me when I was watching some of this stuff yesterday was, you know, where are the solutions? Like, where are you offering, this is how we're going to do it, rather than, I don't like this, or this guy's, you shouldn't, blah, blah, you know, slander campaign, whatever you want to call it. where are the solutions? I mean, they seem pretty obvious to most of us that are out here watching this facade, but like, why aren't they happening? Well, I guess again, I got to go back to us as the people coming together and saying enough's enough of this. Like, and it has to be, because I mean, I'm not fighting for this stuff. You know what I mean? He shouldn't have to. No one should.
And stop elevating these people to these platforms, to these positions in which that they have really done nothing other than play the social media game to get to. They haven't put no policies in place that created any kind of change in their borough or their district, and they haven't done anything but create divisiveness since they got there. So why do they deserve that clout in that position? They're not doing their job. They're actually doing the opposite of their job. If you're taking a stand as a person, once you're elected to represent a people, then you're immediately, in my opinion, you're not doing your job, because you should be working with everybody and anybody trying to figure out how it is that we weave this system that belongs to everyone, not just one particular party or the other. It belongs to, it's supposed to be a combination of everybody and the best that you can of your people that you represent, not you. It's not about Shine. It's not about Guy. If you get elected, then it's no longer about your personal views, because you may be put in a position where one day, because your representatives as a whole want this particular thing voted yes for, you may have to give a yes vote, even though in Shine's personal life or heart, you may be like, this probably wouldn't, this ain't the way I would go. But 75, 80% of my people in my district are wanting this, so I'm going to vote the way that they've asked me to. That's the job of a politician at that point, a representative at that point.
And another thing that I wanted to mention is that, we've talked about it before on here, but this clickbait thing, like, with YouTube and Instagram or whatever platform you want to talk about, if you're going to report on this stuff, make sure that you know what you're talking about and that you're not inciting this doom and gloom, because I don't know if people really recognize, like, and I'm talking like there's some pretty significant channels, at least up here, where they use different tactics just to get you to click on that video. Now, what happens when I do that is that I'm going to watch it for about 10 seconds and realize that you got me, because I've learned this trick now. And what you're doing was a clickbait thing, which is just adding to that level of division. If you're going to report on something or you're going to have an opinion, make sure it's yours and that the facts you're stating are accurate, because it's not helping a lot of people. I know it's not. It certainly doesn't help me. It angers me. And I'm not going to listen to anything you have to say after that. I try, but I mean, again, fool me once. Right.
Yeah. Well, and as soon as you know that somebody's just playing into the word salad of the day, like all you're doing is repeating some headline that you've seen and whoever your favorite talk show host talked about. But you really didn't go look up any facts for yourself. You're just regurgitating someone else's thoughts because they're truly not your own. And
that's right.
That's where, like, I encourage people, debate, have those debates. But I also encourage people, like, the first thing, if you got to start calling me names or someone else names, then you've already lost you've already lost your chance at any debate or any type of forum that's going to invite dissent, because dissent is that's how that we come at finding solutions, is we find where we get together at, then we find where we don't get together at, and then we find that common ground. But when you start a conversation off, all the people that's in Canada are fascist people or Nazis. Well, that immediately, now Sean don't want to hear nothing I got to say, because I just put him in a big blanket of people that he's like, I don't identify like that. That's not the way we are. But that's the way you see conversations start in our media and stuff right out the rip. Like, let's start by calling each other names.
Yeah, and the thing is like, if you want to come at me like that, hey, I'm willing to dance, but if you got no rebuttal to that first statement, I mean, forget about it. And your entire group now, I'm associating with that kind of mentality, and it ain't gonna work.
When you
And-
blanket statement people like that, I'm sorry, but I'm just not willing to dance. That to me has no beat. I'm out.
Oh
Because
man,
it's like
yeah,
that's a closed-minded, like you're calling me a fascist because I
Mhm.
voted for a certain person, or I'm a
Yep.
racist because I believe a certain thing in something that has nothing to do with anything like that, or because you're this or you're that, or you're from this area or you're from that area, you've got to be like that. That's just not true. That
Yeah.
is not true. And as soon as you start with, oh, I'm a hillbilly, well, right out the rip, now you've got me on and like, okay, I'm in defensive mode. Like, man, I ain't like, yeah, I'm from the mountains. And if you
Yep.
want to say hillbilly in a nice way, then I can get down with hillbilly, but that doesn't make me ignorant.
No,
Doesn't make it
no,
to where
and I can
we can get
understand.
both too, you know.
And I can understand it from that side. I like how do it now is like rather than how I would have done it would be fisticuffs in the past. Now, it may be a futile ideology, but I do believe that by remaining calm, even after I get hit with those, because trust me, every single day there's some protest happening about 20 minutes away from my door about something. Where if you're trying to walk anywhere or do anything, you're going to get called some kind of name, right? And I realize that a lot of these are students in this area and younger people, and maybe just trying to assign themselves to a cause or fit in. So I see it as by me coming back at you with something that I'm not going to meet your aggression. I'm going to keep lower than your aggression, but I am going to ask you a question as to why it is you may have called me a fascist or a hillbilly, right? What is that definition to you, and why is it so threatening? Perhaps something like that. Maybe it's not.
Okay, from your level, I can see what you're saying, but talking about it from our politicians' level,
Oh
we're
hell,
supposed
yeah.
to be past all that. We
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
start a
absolutely.
conversation off with calling
Yeah.
each other names in the
No.
name of working with people to do
No.
something. That
I
don't
mean,
work.
dude, no, it don't work. And I mean, there like that's a different arena, and there's an etiquette to it. At least there
There's
was.
an etiquette. There's supposed to be. And well,
Yeah.
I remember hearing stories of people that had hot debates on like the house floor, but then be out at dinner partying it up
Right.
that night. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's
Uh-huh.
the way it's supposed
Uh-huh.
to be. And
Yeah.
you know, this stuff of our, and that's kind of where I was leaning on, like these people that's supposed to be in positions where we're trying to actually make laws that work for people or create change in our communities. Well, if we start the conversation out by trying to degrade or demean somebody, well, right out the rip, they're not wanting to hear shit we got to say, even if it's right, even
You
if
know-
what we have to say is right.
I think everybody's had a boss at some point in their life that was just one of those yeller screamers. That's what I call them.
Everything
Right.
you yell.
Yeah, everything together, just a lunatic on wheels. And you think about those situations. Just take that like own personal situation and be like, how'd that make you feel? I'm sure it didn't encourage you or boost your morale. In fact,
Yeah.
it probably did the exact opposite. Now, if you've ever experienced that once, this us and them ideology needs to go by the wayside, because it doesn't
Dude.
matter who's the one running the ship. We should all be working together, both sides. That's the whole idea of a democracy. Like, come on
But
now.
you got all these different people, and you look at it, it looks like your typical kindergarten class. You got Susie, Tommy, and
Mhm.
Jenny over at one table because their parents go to the same restaurant and the same
Yep.
golf club. And then you got Robert and Jason and Lily over here. They sit at this table because their parents go. Well, no, in kindergarten, the teacher's like, all right, I've got Tommy and Susie and everybody. You're going to be, oh, well, they're not my friends. Well, they're who you're working with today. They'll become your friends. Oh, yeah. And the first rule is everybody's to behave, and you keep your hands to yourself, and you don't call each other names. And we're going to work on this project. This is the project. Keep your minds on this. And that taught you how to work with people you didn't know, how to start, interacting with people. Well, you see, like in our Congress or our House or whatever, you'll see that like it's a straight divide. You'll have everybody one sits on this side, the other sits on this side, and it's like Guys,
The
we
one
learned
guy talks, the
kindergarten
other guy starts yelling over him, and then yelling over, and then hey.
or one will clap for something, and
Yeah.
then the other, like we had that little fella that had cancer. I think he's 13 years old, and he's had brain cancer for like 6 years. And his daddy's been traveling him around the country, and he's become an honorary law officer of like hundreds of different police stations.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just because President Trump, everybody hates big man, bad orange, red man, because it was him, he had that boy there at the thing at one of his speeches and had him recognized for the fact, he had cancer and all this good stuff he had been trying to do, blah, blah, blah. Well, people wouldn't even clap for him and all this kind of stuff on one side and the other side. And you're thinking, man, this totally looks like kindergarten stuff, man.
But you know what? Actually, I think that's an insult to kindergarten because you wouldn't get that in kindergarten. Like I know for a fact, like my son's, like, he's almost 10, but and he still has that youthful presence about him where it's like, hey, if one of his buddies is acting up and they're picking on someone else, he's going to go over and be like, hey, what's going on with you? Like, you know what I mean? This is not how we do things. We help each other. We don't tear each other down. Right. Man. And like, then you get older and like, it's like the world loses its damn mind and starts thinking like, this is okay. It ain't okay. Like, you know what I mean?
Until we can at least sit together and sit beside each other in a room and intermingle, then until that point, like we ain't gonna get nothing done. Like we're pretty much stuck at spinning wheels at this point.
It baffles me just how you could be at, I don't know, the stage of life, any stage in life, I guess, and then have such power and just be so useless at what you do. Just because I
know. And make your whole life's mission about going, like for my whole entire life now, the sky's been falling and the ocean's been rising. Well, I still look up to see the sky, and I got to go to the shore to see the ocean. And it's like the drama and the over excessiveness of it has made of people that just don't get, like, for me, I'm just like, you guys are all full of shit. I just don't like.
Wow. I mean, come on, go easy now. I mean, Al Gore did say in The Insignificant Truth, New York could be underwater by 2017.
Yeah,
water level hasn't raised an inch.
Yeah,
look out, 2017 coming this year, right?
Yeah.
Like,
like everybody better move from Long Island because y'all gonna be gone. I mean, they've been saying this
your paycheck over to my charity
for years. And it's not that I don't agree that maybe there's some things going on that changes things. It's the whole drama of like they're trying to convince you that everything is disaster.
Exasperation of cause and effect is what I like to refer to it as, and I'll give you an example. Most of the east coast of Canada has been burning since about mid-July. Now, in the 80s up here, they had, through the government, funded people to make sure they took care of their land. They cleaned it up. They had cut lines. They removed trees, cut down dead growth, put new trees in. Never had no fires. Never had no problems. They shut that down in about the mid-90s. And now you've got years and years of storms coming through, broken trees, people that maybe are too old to maintain their land. All these programs have been cut and things are burning. Now, is that because of global warming, or is that because we're not taking care of our stuff? Right?
Well, I mean, or is that the way that a force that has no management, that's the way it works? If you don't manage it, if you're not going to manage it, then expect for all your shit, everything to burn when it does burn.
If I throw a match on a pile of tinder, I got a high chance it's going to light up.
We had the same problem in California with some of the stuff that I keep hearing about. Like, it's like, it sounds to me like a mismanagement of forest and water to me. Absolutely. It doesn't sound like climate change.
Oh, no.
No. Hey, Miss Amanda, we see you out there. Good morning, good vibes to you. Yeah, man, coming up on the 1 o'clock hour. Good show, brother Sean at Guy and Shine. We appreciate you being here. New channel launch and getting things fired up. But if you don't mind, hit the like button, subscribe, share if you feel so led. We can't promise exactly what the content will always be about, but we can promise we'll come at it with respect and try to have, sensible, top ideas about things that we know the facts on. Like I don't like to come and pontificate about what I think I know. I like to talk about things that, like, hey, yo, I seen this number and like I looked it up and like, hey man, this is no doubt, like this is what it says is real. That's the kind of information I like to go on. It's kind of like all the information that they throwed at us about President Trump for years. Well, I mean, he was a public figure, guys. So it's like I don't have to take nobody's word on anything. I can go look up a lot of stuff just on my own, just because it's public. And then you start seeing, man, like, okay, well, I mean, dude, like I get that maybe he wasn't perfect, but neither was I. So it's like, like I can't go by everything like that.
It comes back to what we were talking about earlier, right? Like you don't. Like how can you say one person is to blame for every single issue? It's not how it works. It's not
the way
how
you feel isn't fact, Sean.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's like my thing is like people come at you with like, oh, I feel that he's a fascist, or I feel that he.
Yeah, but what proof do you have? Like, what facts can you present? Yeah,
I feel like the world doesn't like me because I didn't hit the Powerball this past week.
The difference between truth and facts. The difference between truth and facts is defined by Webster's dictionary. Is truth is your association, what you experience attached with bias. Facts are what happened without any bias attached.
Yeah.
Black and white. So there's a difference.
Feel is not fact.
No.
Like,
you don't know my truth, man. You don't know my truth, bro.
Yeah, it's my truth, bro.
Yeah, come on, man. You know?
I know them shrooms too. I know them mushrooms. I know.
Yeah.
It's like your truth is found on the other side of something, but it ain't where I'm finding mine. Like,
my truth, man.
Yeah. My truth. Dude, I've heard that's so sickening. That's so
right? Right? Well, can you? And here's the follow-up question: should anyone ever say that to you? Be like, well, please explain it to me, and watch the stutter and start to happen. Smell the smoke start to burn, dude. Yeah.
Hey, man, like I've heard so many people with this fake outrage about things that they feel, and then when you hear about how they feel, you're like, well, truly. Other than you just waking up one day and hearing some tweet or some talking head that you like to watch talking about this, what do you really have that really gives you the reason to feel that way? Or you know what I mean?
Yeah, and here it is. It's like what we were talking about earlier at the beginning of this particular cast, which everybody should go check out at the Guy and Shine Show Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 to 1 Eastern Standard Time, is just that. It's that. Are you seeing this with your own eyes out here in the real world? Or are you relying on this machine that's just going to feed you? Like, I mean, come on. We're smarter than this, right? Like, look outside. Take a trip. Maybe go.
Like, you'll hear, like, people pontificate about how they're doing this to a certain, and it's because we care that we feel this way. And it's like, well, if that's true, then that makes you a very shallow individual because you're not caring enough about the person you're speaking of to know the facts.
That's right.
If you truly care enough to know the facts and not pontificate about what you think, because what you think is not facts all the time.
No, and you need to have research involved with those thoughts because it's probable that you're doing more harm than not should you not educate yourself before you start getting involved with anything.
Like I find it a very shallow individual to give their opinions the free reign of how they feel to a particular news outlet or a particular talking head. If you are that shallow of an individual, then I encourage you to go get in some books. I
Mhm.
encourage you to go expand your thought process, because that's pretty shallow to give that to one person to say, okay, well, I heard it from CNN or I heard it from Fox. It's got to be real. No, it doesn't. No, it
Mm-mm.
doesn't.
No, it
No,
doesn't.
it doesn't. Like, you don't. That's not. And you can't be that shallow and have a respectable thought about things. When it comes to debate, and that's why you hear all this name calling, John. That's why people start out with name calling. When you don't
Well,
have facts, you start out by calling names.
yeah, that's exactly when you have no approach. Like that's the oldest. That's the thing humans have done the longest. Like which let
Yeah.
me divert. Let me
Yeah.
divert what I'm not doing off of me onto somebody else, right?
Johnny's a meanie. Johnny's a meanie. Johnny's a meanie.
Right.
Johnny's a meanie. Like,
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, all right. I get the repeat technique, but I mean, we got to drill down a little
okay,
deeper.
so why is John a meanie? Well, he took his basketball home with him.
Well,
Okay, it was his basketball, right?
Well,
Okay.
me and it's like no. Yeah, right. Anyway.
All right, shout out to you guys. This is Guy and Shine, 11 to 1, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Eastern Standard Time. Always good vibes. We appreciate y'all being here. Let's see, we'll be back Friday at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you don't mind, hit that like button, subscribe, share, and hit that bell button.
Hit that bell so you get all the notifications.
Therapy uncool.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. I got good vibes, guys. See y'all. See y'all Friday. I've been in a hurry since I don't know when. Gotta bring it on back. Start over again. Yeah, I'll bring it on back to a nice old page. The kind of guy like me wins a race. You slow it on down. Take the time it takes to take a real good look around. Yeah, I'll bring it on back to a nice old page. The kind of guy like me wins the race. Well, I got me a woman, yeah, she's better than most. Yeah, I get the space I need to really cut loose. Yeah, she slows it on down to a nice old pace. The kind of guy like me wins the race. You slow it on down. Take the time it takes to take a real good look around. Yeah, I'll bring it on back to a nice old pace. The kind of guy like me wins the race. Slow it on down. Take the time it takes to take a real good look around. Yeah, I'll bring it on back to a nice old pace. The kind of guy like me wins the race. Yeah, slow it down. Slow it on down, guys. Good vibes on. Always good vibes. Always good vibes on to all of you beautiful people out there. Appreciate you guys. Have a great day.